Thank you for being brave enough to come out. Some are still a little worried about it. Welcome back. Welcome to Frolic. We love the crew. Please tip the staff because we get the room for free as long as we order. And at the end of the night, the wait staff goes. They were good. Bring them back. So our wait staff tonight is Bella, Rachel, Lisa, and Misty. So if you would take good care of them. If you haven't been, go to their webpage and like, if you would. I think everybody knows about the red and green. Red, I'm good, leave me alone. Green, I'm thirsty or I'm hungry. You guys have been doing the networking, we're doing the announcements. We're going to we'll spend a little time in member introductions, and we're going to go through haves, wants, and ONGs. And ONGs is, oh my goodness, or oh my goodness. It can go either way. And we really do want to hear both of those. So if you got something, think about it and share it. Sharon shared are real good in the last month. So. And then our Ann and Mark's going to speak to us tonight about how to get a little bit more bang for your buck when you get rid of that rehab. So we're going to go due diligence. Oh, back up. You may hear some really great things here. You may, oh my goodness, that just sounds too good to be true. And that could be the case. Or it could be true. But we encourage you to network. We want you to get to know each other, work together, get involved in projects, maybe loan money, borrow money, make money together, but don't take anything on face value. If you meet somebody new, ask around, do a little background on them. If they talk about this project that just sounds too good to be true, research the project. So do your own due diligence, please. Spend a little time up front. It's a whole lot cheaper than getting a nightmare on your hand and you're stuck with it. Or getting stuck with partners you don't want to deal with. There's our social media group. We used to have all the links up, but all you really need to know is one is realtyinvestorsgroup.org. The MeWe thing, it's that they started is like, I will get a presence there just in case it turns big, which I haven't seen that happen yet. So. But there's our stuff. And as of yesterday, we're looking at 3,612 members. So we have people joining each week, and we're growing. So if you haven't been to our Facebook, go join and be a part of the discussion. If you have and you saw where it's of good value, invite your friends to join. One good thing about that is, in the course of the day, somebody goes, well, she's here, so I'll talk about her. One day, Sherry texted me, oh my God, I was a plumber, wasn't it? I need a plumber now, or electrician or somebody. She was on the road. I need it now, so I did. This is for Sherry. She needs this, and she got like 3 hits right away. By the end of the day, she had somebody on the case. You were driving. I'm driving, but I need help. Very active Facebook page group. I think most of you are members. We've got a couple here that are looking at membership. We've got 3 levels. If it's just me, I'm going to join. I'm going to sign for $100 a year. If it's me and Al, I talk him in. Hey, let's be partners. We're friends. Let's work this together. You can get it for $175, so you save a little bit of money. And then if you have a business and you want to promote that business, promote deals on our Facebook group, that's $250 a year. And each month, we pick a business member of the month, and we talk about them here. Thank you for being here. All right, this is what we got to have wants and ONGs. If you got a deal that you'd like to share, you kind of go for the minimum number of baths, bed, bath, square feet, location, price, and the key numbers, the purchase, rehab, and ARV. Or if you got any training bids, Tim, I got you in there, and I've got a couple things for Kevin. Anybody else have anything before we go to those slides?
I have a buyer need. It's an institutional buyer looking for B-class multifamily apartment. Just to give you an idea, what they're looking for is minimum 30 doors. Community should be larger. They will pay about $330 to $360 per door. And then ideal area would be west of I-25, all along the Front Range. But they will be flexible. There are more modern investors looking for big flexible complexes. So it could be a little long shot, but if you know any apartment complex owners that might be willing to discuss, I need to know who to call.
Sure.
Some of y'all know, I know Tim and Jim, a guy named Anthony Chara. Anthony Chara does a monthly apartment investing. So if you're into multifamily, Anthony's been doing this for 15, 20 years. So he's doing something this Tuesday on how to locate high net worth investors and stuff. So his stuff usually pretty good. So
He travels all over the country doing this training. He has several training. He does his luncheon every month. 1 month it's north at Cinzetti's, and they just opened, so maybe that's why he's back to doing it in person. And then the next month he'll do it down south around the tech center. Right. Yeah, I didn't know where he'd been. I hadn't been in a while. I know Dave and I. We took one of his the whole package. Well, I will say for Anthony, when he starts a class, he doesn't let anybody get left behind. He doesn't move on to the chapter like, do you have, everybody got it? You got it? Okay, let's go. But his trainings are good. He does this yearly getaway down where he rents a catamaran, and it's training, it's work, it's no play. But you hang out on the catamaran for what, a week or so, or a weekend. But it's real good. I would suggest go see one of his breakfasts, lunches. Lunches. You're the breakfast guy.
When is
This Tuesday.
it was.
Coming up.
Oh, okay. Just go back.
All right, Kevin. You're up.
So maybe you can
Pictures of self-storage facility here that I've got for sale. It's right now it's at well, here we go. I'll just go through. There's 13 units. It's at 80% occupancy. It's been around for 6 years. Been around longer than that, but I've had it for 6 years. Been pretty stable income. There's 3 different locations in a small town. They're all pretty close to each other. So yeah, 113 units. I think we got a price of $545 on it. It's about 7 cap. I think that's where we're at. Yeah, 7.5. Oh, 425. Yeah, okay. I had it at 545. Yeah, 425. 425. So if you have any interest, give me a call. Give my number is 303-868-6097, 303-868-6097. And then have 8 duplexes available on wholesaling. The average price is $90. They kind of fluctuate around that. The income on them is about $1,000 a month. The property managers in the area told me that they should be renting for $1,150 to $1,200. Again, that's a pretty decent return on your money. Pictures there, and then also this in Columbia, Missouri, and also have a fix and flip for rental property there. For 85, 42 single family, and probably about 40,000 into it would make me worth about
He's going to sell those so we can buy a bar. Parker Bar. And there it is. How many's not heard of the John Fisher's Breakfast Club? Everybody should have heard of it. That is probably the event in Colorado right there. You need to go. When it's COVID free, that room is packed. You know, you can just feel the energy in there. And there's money made every Saturday, right, Tim? Or not every Saturday, but every meeting.
Every month there's probably, we usually ask this question, I haven't asked 10 to 15 deals done within that room. And that means that, maybe somebody uses a plumber, somebody referred out somebody else. So there are deals done in that room every month that really lead to success. And it's not it's kind of like this, you don't come once and never come again. It doesn't do you any good. We forget about it. So you got to come time over and over and over again, and then the business is fine. That's how I got started with the private club. After the fifth meeting, I sat down next to this lady. She goes, "If you want it," or she goes, "You're the property manager, right?" And this was when I was property manager. Yeah, she goes, "If you manage the property in places I don't want to go," I said, "Sure." And the next thing you know, I had 8 new properties, and within a year, I sold her a 5-plex, $495,000. It still has stayed, but it's worth $1.5 million. And yes, it was she's all right with that. And but it led to some amazing things. So show up every month and network, and then one thing I tell everybody is you gotta make connections and have beer or lunch or coffee with somebody in the room. That should be your goal at every one of these events. Is have coffee or beer or something with somebody in this.
Don't take a business card, take a stack of business cards and try to get rid of them before you leave.
And if you don't, make sure you follow. They won't necessarily follow. That's my bit.
And the food is good too. It's early in the morning, so there's no problem with parking. So traffic's good.
Yeah. And down Look Ave, where we hold it, it's a great place. Really good class.
What does that look at?
13 Church.
Right next to the.
Yeah.
15, 12.
15.
And I want to give you a testimony because back when John actually used to run it, when I went all the time because I was putting houses in, they're really going to that group really kicked off my house flipping success because I found a couple of guys to buy deals from, a lot of deals from Paul Strange, and I found guys to fund their deals. That's what I like about it. So, yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah. It's a lot like this one. I was thinking here, looking around, we've got a couple hundred people. It's a pretty seasoned room. So,
And usually, I was trying to tell that this is their first time here too, as a meeting. We usually have a good mixture. And, but like I say, if you heard tonight, I did with him, I talked with her, and we're all about networking. That's your number one secret to success is network. Get those right people in there. And while I'm doing it, I'll throw this in here. Everybody knows Rich Dad, right?
yeah.
There's a suitcase back there full of some of his stuff. What's in there? Rich Goins. There's some books. There's some self-help stuff. It's free. Please take several home.
How much did you pay?
No, Katie Fleming.
It's all 8-track, right?
Okay, now there's a VHS in there. You have to go to the thrift store and buy a VHS player.
It's got an VCR.
You gotta go to the thrift store and get something to play the tape on. But Katie's friend had it, and she lugged that suitcase in a couple times trying to sell it. And I met up with Katie this week. I had a really good talk with Katie. I haven't seen her since before COVID. And but she said, please take these, just give them away. So please give them away. There's a DVDs, there's some VHS, there's some books, there's all kind of stuff back there. But I guess the reason I jumped in one of his things was like you got to build that toolkit, that get your list of players that you're going to rely on constantly. And this meeting and then the Breakfast Club will help you do that. Speaking of meeting, but strictly fun, you come eat, have some good barbecue, have some beer, and play some cash flow. If you haven't heard of cash flow, it's like Monopoly on steroids, the adult version of it. You can barter, you can, I don't know, it's just fun. And if it's warm enough, we'll be out in the beer garden, so it adds a little bit more fun to it. Come, we've got 2 board games, but come and play some cash flow with us. It's a good game. And this by Rich Dad, too. It's turned into a Rich Dad night. I'm Jim. I'm going to also do funding at Line Solutions Group. We do a couple of different packages. Talked to a guy today about a construction loans program, and we're talking a little bit. We do rehab loans, and we do them a little bit different than most people. They're your monthly payments. There are no monthly payments. It's packed into your loan. You pay a little bit more at closing because you pay your minimum interest at closing with your closing costs, but there's no monthly payments. And instead of you going out and doing the work, paying your money, and then coming back and getting refunded for your rehab, we give you rehab money in advance. You'll either get it at closing as a credit, or you'll get a wire transfer within, I think, 24, 48 hours, something like that. And we do no tax returns, no bank statements, none of that good stuff. We look at your credit, your FICO score, we look at your experience, and then we focus real hard on the property. But that's a little bit different. And we do up to, what I say, 90%. Depending on you and your property and everything, we'll do up to 90% of acquisition, 100% of the rehab. Then there's rental loans. We got that package. We can go up to 30 years. And then we also got some bridge loans. Haven't done much bridge loans with this group, but they are available. And I'm a broker, so I work with a couple of funds around the country. So if Joe here doesn't work for you, I can go to another guy, and if that doesn't work, we'll find somebody that wants to. Steve?
I have a couple questions, if you don't mind.
Go for it.
I don't know if this is
We got plenty of time.
You talked about looking at the person's FICO scores and their experience. I've looked at a couple other lenders, and they say, well, get 3 to 5 flips under your belt and then come back to us.
We'll do a first-time rehab person. Now, what we'll do is, if somebody says, this is my first one, it's like, we're not getting any bonus points for experience. We're gonna have a good FICO score. But if your FICO is here and you've got experience, you'll get up to that full 90%. If you have less, then we'll come down because you're a little bit more of a risk. But a lot of times people will say, this is my first thing. I took a course. I'm ready to jump in. I know the basics, but I haven't done one. So it's like, do you know anybody that's done this before? I'm like, yeah, my buddy Joe Bob, he does 20 a year. Well, I asked Joe Bob to join into an LLC with you for just the first one. So you'll capitalize on his experience. Plus, he'll help you from making some bad mistakes. And you get the first one, you get the experience. And the second time around, okay, you've got one under your belt, we've dealt with you, we can give you a little bit better rate.
Okay.
But we do first time, no experience, but it's more of a risk, so you pay more.
Thank you.
Yep.
Sign them up with Tim and he'll walk them through the whole process.
Sign up to Tim, he'll help you find it, we'll get you through it, and then I'll get the money, and
You come from Jim, they'll definitely get that.
and then when you get it flipped, they'll help you flip it. And before we bring them up, Loretta snuck in there at the back. So Loretta, do your elevator speech. You don't want to let anybody off.
I am Loretta. I see a couple of familiar faces. So I'm a landlady here in Colorado and also in New Mexico and raw land. And yeah, I'm ready to do it actually right now. And I'm just excited to be here and learn decorating.
All right. And on that note, go ahead.
I think I missed the
Hands them off.
Yes,
Go for it.
Yeah, this is a property a friend of mine owns in Lafayette, Louisiana. Lafayette, Indiana. It's a 3,500 square foot ranch home, and Purdue University is in Lafayette as well. The property is worth about $250. It's a first mortgage for about $125 at a 7% interest rate. Very well secured, and I know the owner is definitely somebody that you want to work with. And like I said, it's $125,000. They're looking for paying 7%, and I've got a full sheet on it. If you know anybody in Indiana, Lafayette, Indiana, that may have an interest in, putting up some money on a real secure deal, I've got some sheets here. You can get all the information. Thank you.
Is it listed on the market?
It is not yet listed. It's not for sale. The guy's looking for a loan. He owns the property, and he is looking for a first mortgage.
Refinance.
Correct.
He's looking for a lender to refinance his property.
Correct.
Private money.
Private money, yes, private money, because it's, he doesn't want to do traditional finance.
Why is that?
He's 82 years old, and he doesn't want to, he just wants private finance. But it's a 7% I mean, that's $700 a month.
He's willing to pay.
Yeah, he's willing to pay 7% on the loan. And it's a first mortgage, as I said. So, like I said, I got all the information on a piece of paper here. Anybody interested in, again, Lafayette and Louisiana, Indiana, excuse me, they sound too much the same to get them straight.
What's his
And-
use? What's his plan with the property? Just live there?
No, he has a renter that's been there 3 years, and he's living here in Colorado. He bought it a number of years ago, kind of from a friend's situation. And the owner of the property that he has a note with right now wants his cash, so he's just looking to get a loan on it, a new loan on it. And again, first position, well secured, 3,500 square foot in where Purdue University is at. So
He wants to buy that other loan out, hold it.
correct. He wants a new lender to be a first position for his ownership.
How long a loan is he looking for?
He's got something on here, 3 to 5 years. But like I said, he's a vacant owner. I mean, he's here and it's there. And so he's just looking to get the current lien holder out of the property. And, he's willing to pay a nice investment rate. Again, I'd be interested in this myself if I was still involved in that stuff. I don't do that much out of state, and I'm getting double this rate in my cryptos every month. So it just doesn't make sense to me to be involved in it. So that's why but he's a close friend, and I'm just putting it out here for anybody that's in. Thank you.
All right, thank you. We're going to bring our guest up now. One of fairly new members is Rich, Mark, the director of Awesomeness, and Miss Ann. Come on up.
All right, thank you.
Here's your mouse here.
So, is this on? Is this?
Oh, there we go.
Check. Can you hear me?
Hello.
And then mine.
Okay. And this is being broadcast on Zoom, Jim?
It's live on Zoom now.
Okay.
We're going to record it and put it on the website later.
Okay, so we'll just stand back here so the Zoom family can see us. Thanks for having us. I really appreciate it. We're really excited to be here and get to know people. As Jim said, we've
Step back, proceed. That's you there.
okay. We've been members of the group about 3 months. My name is Mark Tristani. This is my wife, Ann Tristani. We are with Ann Tristani Design, and that is an interior design and a home staging firm. It's a family-owned business. My wife is the principal designer. My daughter, who couldn't make it to, she's out of state at the moment, is the home stager. And I am as their business manager, but that's a boring title, so I decided to call myself the director of awesomeness. Because my job is to make them awesome, do all the things they don't want to do, the spreadsheets, the marketing, the finance, the business. Both Ann and I are kind of in like a second career. I spent 30 years at IBM in IT support and cybersecurity, managing clients, managing accounts, and I just got burned out with it, couldn't wait to just do something else. Ann spent 20 years as a fine artist, a professional fine artist. She's an oil painter. You'll get a chance to see some of her paintings. So she did that for 20 years, and she also wanted to step out of that and do something different. So she became an interior designer. And so we're both in our second careers, loving it. Life's too short to not, come to work on Monday and can't wait till Friday, right? So now, I don't even know what the other week is. I feel like I'm retired. I'm enjoying my work, enjoying this career. Just a little bit of background with us. We're actually located in Edgewater, and we're transplants from Minnesota. So if you thought I had an accent, I know that Minnesota gave it away. I don't know how to say that word without Minnesota. So we raised our 4 kids in Minnesota, and we've been here about 6 years, and loving Colorado.
winter's here, just a joy. So, interior design, home staging, and the third function that we provide that maybe would be of interest to people is short-term rentals. We can help with the design of a short-term rental, the furniture selection of a short-term rental. We'll talk about what we can do in that space. So again, I'm very excited to jump into that, but why don't I turn it over to my principal designer, Ann, and why don't you talk about, Ann, the interior design side of our business?
Hi, so I'm Ann, and as he said, I spent the last 20 years growing and learning and teaching as an artist. And so many of the things that an artist does on canvas completely apply to making a room or a home or a space beautiful. It's all the same language. So even though I sort of recently went back to school for design, interior design, all the principles of design I've been nurturing for 2 decades just completely transfer. And so I think what sets me apart and what I can do in your space is see it for its composition and see the scale and the balance and the proportion, and just like a painting that needs a focal point and the correct proportions, so does a room design or a home design. And so it's very logical. It's just innate in the way I think and can bring these skills into a home design. And then of course, color, texture, repetition, all of those sorts of things are what make a design beautiful, and all of those things are the things that I've been teaching my students and practicing in the field as I painted on location. So I think we can go to the interior design before and afters.
Those are all paintings.
So that's my artwork, you know, just, and a lot of that is just right, I'm standing there, right on that hill, freezing my fanny off, painting really fast. It's called plein air painting. So, you know, I've painted enough to be efficient. And all of these skills transfer to a design or to interior design. And so after school, I got, my first job was at a high-end furniture place. So I got experience in furnishing homes and with custom high-end furniture. And that's a good skill to bring into this. And then as my experience has grown, I've worked with contractors doing remodels now. And so that's been a really nice new layer of my work. And I just love it. I'm so excited. You know, each new job is a new puzzle to experience, or to solve, a new opportunity to make something amazing. Clients cry when they see the finished product, and that's pretty wonderful.
Yeah, so we thought that could be a good tagline, you know, interest on design, we make your clients cry. But, you know, that didn't sound quite right. But it is, it's an emotional thing. People come to an interior designer looking for help. They know something's wrong with their space. They might not know what's wrong. And then they come and actually, right off the bat, you can look in the space and say, that wall's got to come down. Or we need to move some furniture around here. And suddenly, I mean, these people are like, they're hugging her. They're like, oh my God, I never thought of that. You know, it's an emotional thing. We really believe that interior design, I mean, someone's house should just feel good. It should be a sanctuary, right? And Ann's got that, you know, and my daughter as well. I don't, they do, and not everyone does. So that's a beautiful thing where they can come in and just help guide the homeowner through that process.